Good morning, everybody, and welcome to Ask the Accountant, episode 169. It is the 26th of January, 2026. My name is Johann Gory, and I am joined, as per usual, by my co-host, Mr. Aaron Patrick, who we will come on to in a moment. As always, we are nothing if we are not here for our community on a Monday morning. I almost said Friday morning. Oh dear, too much energy on a Monday morning. And of course, those that get a special mention on our Patreon community cool listeners, coolest of cool listeners, I should say. So thank you to the support of Aaron Patrick, Paul Whitehouse, Kirsty St. John, Mahal, and Millie for being our coolest of cool friends. And I wouldn't be here, I wouldn't be doing this if it wasn't for Mr. Aaron Patrick. So Aaron, how are you and how was your week?
Very good week, very positive. A little bit of news, but I'm sure we'll come to later.
Come on to that in a moment.
Yeah, but I am actually, I don't know, after being so pessimistic about this year of tax returns, I feel like now I'm through the trees. Look, we got a week to go, right? So hopefully we're all through the trees at this point. I'm feeling a lot better about it now. I'm feeling a lot and it's one of those where we've all got the same, right? We've all got our February list of, we'll come back to that in February. We'll deal with that in February. That's a February thing. I am so excited to get to my February list. I have got so many cool projects in the pipeline. A lot of sitting down and literally developing like new stuff for the practice and all this sort of stuff. So I'm so excited for it. But yeah, I think I'm just at that point now where I'm glad I don't have to worry about January as much as I did. So yeah, it's good. What about yourself, Johann? How's it been? Are you woods through the trees, or whatever the phrase is?
Yeah, I think we're about there. I mean, if they don't turn up, they don't turn up. What can you do? But yeah, I've got into a fairly nice routine, to be fair. Like early mornings, I get to the desk, crack on with any notifications and stuff on. So-and-so's signed, right, let's get that filed. So-and-so's responded, right, let's get that updated and sent out for e-sign-in. Then I spend most of my time dealing with Engager and meetings and stuff. And then in the evening, I revisit it again and go, right, what's updated, what's changed? Otherwise, I think if you just sat there waiting, you're going to go crazy. So yeah, I've enjoyed that bit of routine to my daily routine, as it were. Although I'm in Reading for the next Tuesday through to Thursday, which is probably not the best idea, traveling on the week of tax return deadline. We'll see how that goes.
It's one of those though, isn't it? Like, what else can we do at this point in time? Like, literally a week to go. There's not, like, us being around isn't going to make or break it, right? And I think that's kind of, because I'm similar. I've got stuff for this week and I've just had to say look, we've done as best we can up to now. If there's going to be I think the only time that I certainly get involved at this point when it's it's the late ones that, like, literally brand new PNCs, and we have so much red tape we have to go through. The idea of us being able to actually turn that around, probably not going to happen at this point. That we're probably not going to be able to do it at this point. Do you know what I mean? Like, with all of the stuff we have to do from onboarding, with all the stuff we have to do, like previously, not that we were able to kind of like bend the rules or anything, but it felt doable. Like, at this point, I was more than happy. Well, we'll get you through. We'll get you over the line. We always used to call it a blind submission, right? Because we didn't have 64.8 in place. So it was like, we'll send it. We'll hope for the best, but like, you've left it too late for us to kind of do anything more. So yeah, I don't know. I think those days of those mad rush at the end just to get the last couple over the line and bring in those new clients and everything else, I feel like they're coming to an end, especially with MTD coming around the corner, right?
Like, so obviously my team let me get involved with self-assessments. It's one of the few things I'm allowed to do. So I enjoy getting involved with them, but then they also let me deal with the snotty clients that come in. Like, a snotty client emailed on Saturday saying, I sent my information to you 2 weeks ago. Why is it taking so long? It's like, so I literally replied back to him saying, and he's just a self-assessment client. That's all we do for them. And I replied back to him saying, I've been emailing you since the start of April for your documents. What's taking you so long? If you come in at this late in the day, it's first come, first served. And we've got a backlog because there's other people that are late in the day. Funnily enough, didn't get a response. Sent him his tax return, signed it, paid the bill. And the thing is, he'll be back again next year.
Yeah.
That's well, unless we sack him.
Well, or MTD forces his hand. Well, I suppose he's just
no, he's under the MTD threshold for this year, unfortunately. But yeah, anyway, we are 6 minutes in and we have not mentioned our community or said hello to them in the comments. So here we go. You can tell I'm in charge today. All very slapdash. So first of all, good morning. Oh no.
I know. I can't believe it.
Oh my God, controversy at the top. So good morning, everyone, from Kirsty St. John at 8:30 on the dot. Good morning, Kirsty. Paul came in next saying morning all. Morning, Paul. Followed by Stephanie. Morning, gents. Morning, Stephanie. Mahul said, good morning, everyone from London. I hope everyone had a great weekend. Thank you, Mahul. Paul Ingram says, good morning. Followed by Bookkeeper Superhero Natasha saying, good morning, all. Lisa Mullahund says, good morning. Suzanne says, good morning. Nick Moss says, morning. Good luck with it this week, everyone. Nick knows what's all about. Bellamy 10101 sends a heart emoji. Juliet says, morning, chaps. Morning, Juliet. More to bookkeeping. Good morning, all. Nearly there. Fingers crossed from Louise. And Kirsty says, I love that, Johann. Totally agree. They have 9 months. Exactly. And Steph Marshall says, I'm out of the office Wednesday, Thursday too. There we go. Cool. Okay. And then Cheryl says, at 8:29 this morning. Sorry, Cheryl, you were early, so you have to go to the bottom of the list. I feel like I've put my mum in detention. I mean, Jesus.
We'll blame it on January stress. That's what we'll blame it
on. Good morning, all. 2 self-assessments to do. 3 VAT returns. Feeling very positive. Excellent. Absolutely brilliant. Yeah, we've got quite a lot of we're getting a lot of inquiries for financial due diligence at the moment. There's a lot of people looking at selling and buying and stuff at the moment, which is great. So February is going to be busy for different reasons. Speaking of financial due diligence, though, Aaron, you've been doing some, and you've got news for our community. So tell us what's happened.
I think it's good that I'm actually allowed to talk about it for once. This has been.
How many months have you been saying, dropping hints and making references to it without being able to talk about it?
I think it's been like 9 months, hasn't it, in totality, from kind of start to finish. Well, no, it's been longer than that.
People have babies in that time.
Yeah, exactly. But no, I finally can explain the fact that we've gone out there and acquired a brand new business, very orange business. Hence why I've been changing my my wardrobe slowly but surely.
All of a sudden, the McLaren kit is now uniform.
It's brilliant. It's absolutely
Try
brilliant.
and make it non-tax allowable HMRC. I dare you.
Yeah, exactly. I made Christmas super easy for the wife as well. She's just had to go down and go, right, well, there's a McLaren this and a McLaren that'll do. Sold. So so we bought a company called Business Works up in Yorkshire, up in Leeds, and in a place called Garforth. And what I'm really excited about this one is, I mean, what attracts me was the team. Absolute superstars, this team that they've got. Really nice clients as well. But it's back to being in a building, and I kind of have missed that. I've missed that, properly getting to go with a team and like build things and change and just having that tactile response that's there. And the nice thing is because I'm keeping this very separate. So we've got the group structure AAG at the top. We'll have Business Works here. We've got Bofix here. We've got Apple Core in there. We've got Elevate Media. All those like different strands of it. But we're purposely keeping them separate so they can play to their strengths. Bofix will always be remote, and that's great. And I've got some like I've really enjoyed building like solutions to make remote working work really well, and I can continue to kind of elevate on that and innovate and push the boundaries there. But then I can take that hat off, put the BW hat on, and then I'm back into working, in an accountancy practice again. And, the challenges and the benefits and the pros and the cons that comes with that. Do you know what I mean? Like, I feel really privileged. I've got that opportunity to have both sides of it, and I can kind of jump between the two, because I've never been one to say one's right, one's wrong. They both have their benefits, both have their cons, right? But the fact now that I have that opportunity to jump between the two and I feel energized, right? Because I feel like I've got this whole new challenge to overcome and bring it in. And they were already a really tech first firm anyway. They won Firm of the Future at QuickBooks. So I now am a proud owner of Firm of the Future practice after many years of
That put a zero at the end of the price for you.
yeah, 100%. Yeah. So they were already a really tech first practice. They run really well. Like it was all positive. Like they were already a really high end practice. But I've already been able to go in and go right. Like every practice out there, they've just their problem is they've just been like so focused on just getting the work done. They've never had a chance to look at the picture, at bigger picture, and they've never really considered what their bottlenecks were and stuff like. Do you know what I mean? And never done that
Yeah.
SWOT analysis and everything else. So just being able to go in with that fresh pair of eyes and go, you do know we could do it this way, or have you thought about doing it this way? Yeah, and having all of that sort of elements that come with it has been, it's been brilliant. We've already made some really positive changes and some more positive to come. Let's give us a practice management solution where I can actually do work with it, and actually help with it. You know what I mean? At the moment, I'm so blindsided by it because of what they're using. And having a proposal system that's built into my practice management system as well, that's going to be a massive benefit to everyone. And little things like that and changes like that. So yeah, really excited for it. I feel energized. We've got some really big changes coming with the whole group structure and how we're building it and everything else, and it just takes us for me, it kind of gives us that next step and everything else. So yeah, it's good. And it's the best news about all of this, and the news that I'm really excited about is I get the wife to leave her corporate job. She's coming in as well. She's working with it. This is our investment. We're not got the whereas Buffett's has kind of got the investor involved in it as well. He's not involved in this one. This is purely ours. So yeah, it just gives us that opportunity to build on it. So yeah, really exciting. And it's been everything but positivity as well. Even the clients have been really positive, right? Like of having this opportunity to just have another perspective of things. And the old practice owner Jo, she's not going anywhere. She's still going to be involved in like contracting work and all that sort of stuff. She's very much still invested in it. But we get to come along with a whole new perspective. So yeah, really exciting. But yeah, I mean, it's kind of, I bet for you, it's like, you do this all the time, right? But the first time you buy practice really like that,
it took 9 months. I mean, I normally do it in 2 to 3 weeks, but okay.
Exactly. But honestly, because I've done it so many times with clients, like I've been there and help them acquire and help them sell and all that. And you kind of, when you're helping them and you're doing it from business advisory, you're just like, sometimes you think to yourself, oh, why is this, like they'll come up with this problem or this issue, right? And you're like, okay, I get it, but why is that such a big deal? Like let's deal with, let's take the emotion out of it, let's talk about it and everything else. And you try and be that like, linchpin of professionalism, don't you? You try for your clients, you try and just be that like soundboard to them. So like, yeah, I 100% understand where you're coming from, but it's not really a big deal. Let's look at the bigger picture. There's that sort of advice, isn't it? When it's your own, every little second of every little part of it is like, are we doing the right thing? Is this right? You second guess yourself, right? And all that sort of stuff. Yeah. So yeah, it's been a roller coaster, all positive though, and all kind of good. And I'm just glad I can talk about it now. I'm glad we can have it out there and start building it. And like, I think one of the things I'd love the community to kind of give me feedback as we go along is I've got to shift my whole persona from just being me now to now being AAG, which is our like group structure at the top there. And I'm really I'm excited for that because it's like a fresh start and a new thing and everything else. But at the same time,
are you going to be a bit more agnostic towards your softwares?
Yeah, I've got to. I've just got to rethink things. Yeah,
no, I've had to kind of become more agnostic towards softwares.
Yeah, well, you were forced, right, because of
your position. The last 3 years. Like, yes, like, and yeah, so it is challenging to be more agnostic. I've still got my favorites, of course. I have. I'm sat having my cup of tea out of my apron mug, and
Advin.
Sorry, Advin mug, yes. But Apron, I love my coffee from Apron, and I love their products. But Yeah, there are products out there I think are just, they've taken the wrong turn in places, and I've had to change my firm's direction because of it and so on. But yeah, it's hard to be agnostic, and you're always going to have preferences, but we're all human. But yeah, it's going to be interesting to see how you take a more agnostic approach from the QuickBooks chap.
I mean, it's still going to be part of my persona, is it? It just won't be. That's not because I have heavily that's been my personal brand for ever since we've had this show, right? Like it's always been Aaron Patrick, the QuickBooks chap. Like that's been my persona, and it's still going to be there. I'm not getting rid of it. It is part of AAG now. Like if you look at the AAG website, even Ask the Accountant's part of it, right? And then Ask the Accountant's also got the QuickBooks chap and all the other things that was with it. So it's still there, but it won't be my main push now. My main push is this AAG, this accounting advisory group, this bigger picture, right? And hopefully doing more. And it's interesting you said that about still having your favorites and still, but there is still some software out there I just can't tolerate. And I've had to just go in and say, I'm really sorry, that's got to go straight away. But
I name and shame them. As long as we're not going to get a cease and desist. But, we're trying to get through 2026 without any lawyers involved.
It would be nice, right? But you know how, when you first go in, you're a little bit tepid, right? You don't want to go in and change too much because that's just going to cause panic and confusion. And you're trying to find that middle ground, aren't you? If you want to go in there, show support to the team that you're willing to make the right changes at the right time, but also not just pull the rug from them, especially in the middle of January, right? Like if I'd have gone through in that's out, we would have just caused panic and it would have caused things. So there's a timed approach to get there. But their accounts production software, oh crikey! I remember using it. So it was Tax Filer back in the day. Now it's Iris Elements, right? I remember using it back in the day and going, "This is fine," but it's a little bit basic. It's a little bit it does what it needs to do, I suppose, and I can see a world where it's fine. In my mind, when Iris were going to take it over, they were going to enhance it. They were going to bring stuff to the table. They were going to make it more Iris-like, right? And they've just not touched it. It is still that same basic solution that has bugs and has issues and has problems and causes so much anxiety for me as the reviewer, right? Like I am so when I see a Bofix review come through, I've got confidence that this maybe the team's forgot to do a little thing, or that you get to know the software, right? You know the quirks, warts and all, right? When they send that working, I'm sat there going, oh no, just so much anxiety around it because I know that if they haven't ticked this box or they haven't moved this or they haven't updated that field, the whole thing could be completely wrong, right? And you have to have such more you're on heightened senses just reviewing it, let alone actually being the person who's preparing it. So I'm just shocked.
Felt that Tax File had a hidden cost that no one takes into account. I think as an industry, we can be pretty poor at just reviewing a cost as the pounds and pence that leave our bank account.
Agreed. Yeah.
Whereas with Tax Filer, what I realized many years ago, because I used it years ago when it was just me and getting up and running.
Yeah.
What I realized was, it was dirt cheap, like 35 quid a month, bargain. But actually, I started adding up all the time it cost me, not for correcting things or anything, but for just explaining to clients why the accounts don't look anything like QuickBooks Zero or Free Agent.
Yeah.
And it's because they've got a chart of accounts in Tax Filer that we had to use. You couldn't adapt it. And then I had to explain, that one, and that one's mapped into there. At which point I realized, actually, this really cheap software is actually costing me a huge amount of money in ineffective ways of working and inefficiency. And that's why I moved to TaxCalc, because I wanted to be able to have the same chart of accounts the clients have been looking at all bloody year.
Yeah.
And all of a sudden, my calls and emails and stuff plummeted.
Yeah.
So indirect, it was actually cheaper and more profitable for me to run a more expensive software.
Yeah.
So I don't know if Iris have changed that, if it's still a fixed code of a chart of accounts that you have to use, but that was a huge headache for me when it was Tax Filer back in the day, was the disguised costs of your time.
Yeah, and it isn't just what the client perception is. Again, it's back to that review point, right? I'm having to get a calculator out to add the things in QuickBooks to make sure that I'm happy that they've come over. And I know some of that is I'm coming at it relatively brand new again, right? Because it's been so long
Yeah.
since I've properly looked at it again, right? It's been years at this point. So, I'm having to do that bit more due diligence. I'm having to do a little bit more, checking that I probably wouldn't have to when I've got confidence in it. So there is that, like, it would even out over time, I think. And I think you'll get back to a bit of a plateau. But the fact I'm having to second guess it, I'm having to ask the questions, I'm having to go, is this actually right? Like that,
So
that for me, yeah.
1st of April, new tax filing software coming in, yeah?
Oh, well, no, it's not even. It was first. So when we did like the talk to the team and everything, we sat down and we're like, look, here's our master plan, and we put a time like we put timelines to what changes were going to be, just so everyone had that and we could work back from
Yep.
everything else. And it was 1st of April for the tax software change. Nope, 1st of February. It's like,
And where are you going?
but now we're going to keep him. We're happy with keep him. Yeah.
God,
You
this
know what needs to be done. You know what needs to be delivered from. But to be fair, Fusion did keep us out. We're open to options, but at the moment, yeah, we need to get off tax
Yeah.
right. Just to give us that chance
tax
to.
filer, thank you.
Sorry, tax filer. Sorry, yeah, we need to get off there. But we need to do it sooner rather than later, just so we can start then building on it and everything
Yeah.
else. But yeah, it's things like that where you want
Any
to.
other softwares hitting the skip? Like, when you move into a new office and it's like, I'm gonna have to, or house, and you're gonna renovate first, and you get a big skip parked up outside,
Yeah.
and everything gets thrown out. So tax filer is gone. Anything else going in that skip?
Practice management solution, as you can imagine, we're moving to someone that's close to this practice, to this podcast. I'm sure everyone can figure out who we're going to, and it's not that they're on accounting manager, bright manager, right? It's not that that's a bad product. It's just that there's so much more efficiencies we can bring by being on a software that the whole group uses and everything that we can go with from there. So yeah, we'll move them to there, obviously, and then the other one is their pricing software. So again, I don't think it's a bad product overall. It's not Go Proposal, the other one, Ignition, right?
Okay.
I don't think it's a terrible product. I just think it's inefficient to have it separate to your practice management solution. I'm yet to find a use case where I go, that's why you do it that's the interesting way of doing it. Do you know, I'm struggling to find that, unless it might be like a really big firm where you've got like a bespoke CRM solution that's never going to have like this integration. So I remember back in the day when I was in the corporate world, and it was like, we had this purpose-built CRM practice management solution that they built themselves. I can kind of see having a proposal system on top of that. That's kind of where I can see it better than nothing, right? Like, it's better than just sending Excel out by that point, 100%. But not having it directly connected to your practice again, when you're looking at ways to improve your relationship with that team and give them some goodwill and get them to kind of buy into your future and stuff, just explain to them that, wait, so I don't have to go into this other software to generate the LOE, and then I've got to keep an eye on this software when they've signed it. And I'm saying no, going forward, if you want to add payroll to them, you go to this, you tick one box, it generates your, you know what I mean? Like, you're showing them the way that when it's all in connected, all nicely done, go from there. So yeah, 100% moving from there. So yeah, it's just, I think giving them that option, and I think a lot of it again is because they were so blind, because they were just getting the work done, right, and they were just doing it. And I think we have a really good advantage because we've got this show and we've got the whole community telling us to look at this, look at that, and everything else. But yeah, it's just been a really really positive experience just to go in and just go, you're doing it this way, but you do realize that there's a way better way of doing it if you just use a bit of like calendars, right? Like, we're not implementing it from day one, but having that bookable calendar system and having the opportunity to bring that in, we've used it since day one at Botfix. In here, even though it's that kind of more personal world, and then they've got an office next and everything else, just bringing that opportunity in that clients can book you in and find that
Yeah.
right time slot. You can all have the right things, and there's changes like that. I think is going to be good, and to be like, I'm obviously from selfish reasons going to be putting as much content as I can about this to help the algorithm and everything else. But generally, I think it's going to be really interesting to see that change, and I'm going to document it all on the Ask the Accountant channel.
Brilliant. Well, speaking of changes,
Oh,
I think, in fact, let me go back to the community, then we'll talk about changes that I think are happening. So Paul says, so have you moved them from Xero to QuickBooks yet?
they thankfully they're already a very QuickBooks focused practice, so we are keeping very much QuickBooks most of it, but there's a lot more Xero clients there than we've had before, so I'm going to have to start understanding
Agnostic.
and being agnostic, and it's for the good, right? Because there's so much innovation coming out from all of them now, and I feel like this is where because I got a chance to actually sit down with my account manager at Xero. And I'm not sure what I'm allowed to talk about, not for NDAs and all that sort of stuff. So I'll just keep it dumb. But the stuff they were telling me that was coming forward, even I was like, oh, interesting. Okay. Oh, that's a different take of it. So I feel like I'm going in at the right time where they are actually starting to think about these innovations from places to places. So yeah, it's going to be good for everyone.
And Kirsty says, congratulations, Aaron, and nice that you can bring your wife into the joint venture.
Yeah, that's been the big like pinch me moment, really. It's just because she wasn't having the nicest of times, you know what I mean? Like she was stuck in that corporate.
So when does
world
she end corporate life and start
the end of February?
not sleeping for different reasons?
Yeah, exactly. Yeah. End of February. So she's gonna have that chance to come on over and come in. So yeah, she's really excited. She's really like invested in it as well. She's been leading like like changing the color scheme of the office and stuff like that is what she's got her teeth into at the moment, because she's not allowed to do like proper work, right? Because she's still thingy. So she's like had a paintbrush out and started painting the walls and stuff like that. So yeah, she's in her element.
Fantastic. So speaking of change, I think they might have changed who's running the social media posts at HMRC.
I know, right?
It feels like someone at Audi has been recruited by HMRC to run their social media, because it was a very Audi-esque post that came out on Friday night. I don't know if you've all seen this, but HMRC did a topical post about traitors. Now, I don't watch traitors. I never seen it in my life. I'm not bothered by it. I'm far too busy with more important and intellectual things than betrayal and stuff. Got enough of that going on in my life. I don't need to see it magnified on a TV screen. But I just flabbergasted that HMRC have done a topical post. Is this the beginning? Is this just the start of a more modern, in touch organization? I saw it and just went. I had to double take. And make sure, actually, is that the actual HMRC social feed?
Or have they been hacked?
Have they been hacked, or is this a spoof, like, social media account that looks very much similar, but there's a dot in the wrong place or something? But yeah, I mean, your thoughts?
Yeah, I even put a social post up myself of the shock that I was in to see this going forward. It's needed, right? Like this is a step in the right direction. I think when I first saw it, because and also originally because of my dyslexia, I read it. I thought, well, I don't see it. I don't get the joke. I don't get the joke. I don't understand it. Then realized, because the whole meme is that they're holding up with the spelling mistakes, right? So I love Trader, so I watch it religiously. And one of the memes is that every time they bring up the voting card, they're always spelling names wrong. Like this, that's been the meme. That's where it's come from. So
It's
on
not
this,
a meme,
on
it's
this,
my life.
yeah, I know, right? But when they were doing the social post, and each one of them was spelt subtly different. When I first read it, I was like, okay, it's cool they're using traitors, but I don't get this whole thing about this, no matter how you spell it. I was like, Oh, it took me like a good minute to let the joke properly sink in. Wait, they've spelled that wrong? Well, that's how you spell self-assessment. But yeah, it's good to see though, isn't it? Like, come on, look, surely them sort of posts, yes, they're a bit silly. Yes, they're not as serious as they've been in the past, but surely they will get a lot more attention. They're going to get a lot more eyeballs on them.
Yeah.
They're just going to put HMRC in a better, more friendly light. And I think, especially for our type of clients, they need that, right? They don't. HMRC doesn't need to be the big scary monster that's going to come in and
Yeah.
ruin your day. They need to be seen as something that work with them, and you're going to get a better experience. That's the sort of
Approachable,
thing.
supportive,
Yeah. Follow
in
their
touch with
social
the
media
world.
channels because you're gonna get some news that's gonna be useful to you, right?
Yeah.
Like,
And
realistically, who wants to follow HMRC if they were just gonna say, "Here's your next tax rate?" Like, they needed to do more. So yeah. No,
some
I'm
of the
really up for
video content they produce
it. Mm.
is very, very good.
Yeah,
Like,
yeah,
they're great little snippet of help guides and stuff like that. They do some great stuff, but they haven't got enough eyeballs on it because they aren't doing they need to get people into the algorithm, and it's posts like that on Friday that will do that for them.
100%.
So it's a great, great move.
Yeah, yeah, and
Yeah.
it's, I can already I've not looked, but I can already see it now. There's going to be some very grumpy posts about this. Oh, what are they doing? Blah blah blah. They'll be like,
Yeah.
there's going to be that side of it, and they're going to get that negativity for it from it. Without that, this is the internet. This is what happens. You know, you're gonna get abuse no matter what you post, right? But I think they just need to applaud it, and I'm hoping this is the next step where they start attacking Colin the Caterpillar now. They
We
go
see,
full.
like, Lidl, like, they sit there taking the piss out of their legal team and the management team and how
Yeah,
much, what Lidl have done is basically put a personality behind their marketing team.
exactly.
And we're all personality driven. Like, we all, all the accountants out there selling by personal brand and stuff. But actually, like in yours and my case, now we are our firms are much, much bigger than one person.
Yeah,
Yes,
yeah,
I can be deployed into a room of 40 businesses looking to buy businesses. I can deliver a speaking session and stuff. But even when they come to pay for our services, there's a bigger team behind me. And actually, what Lidl have nailed in their marketing team is they've given their whole team a personality, a personal brand. And actually, there's lessons to be learnt there.
yeah, 100%. And I see it with, like, I don't know if you saw Domino's did a very similar post with the fact that Williams aren't going to make it to Williams, the F1 team, aren't going to make it to first testing, and it was like this cheeky post that, oh, if you need help delivering, then just give us a call, sort of. It was like little things like that, right? Brilliant,
Yeah.
absolutely brilliant. And I think that's what you need. That's the corporate, boring, like, stuffy. It's just not going to get any traction. And HMRC, thankfully, have seen that, right? They've seen the light of that. They've seen that. Let's have a bit of fun with this. And surely
Yeah.
their marketing team must be enjoying this far more than what they've had to do in the past.
Oh,
And
yeah.
they're going to get rewarded for it by having eyeballs on them that's going to talk about, and new eyeballs. The people who were, like, probably complaining about this and arguing about this, they're going to know what's happening with HMRC anyway, right? They're invested in one way or another. They'll find their news one way or another. They'll get fed that breakdown. Maybe it's an email chain or whatever, right? Like, they're going to be fed that update. They're catered for. They're sorted.
Yeah.
The challenge that HMRC has is, well, how do you get the rest invested? How do you get the rest to know about this? And yeah, this is the best way of doing it, in my opinion. I mean,
Yeah.
I'm really, really hats off to them.
How many times do we sit there and talk about HMRC adverts and social posts? We don't.
Yeah.
Like, can you imagine being that marketing team going in on this morning, looking at the stats, going, "Oh, oh, oh, we did a good thing."
Yeah. Dick. Like, yeah,
Yeah.
oh, it's brilliant. I absolutely love it. And I just hope this is a springboard for something a little bit more, because it gives us, as content creators in the accounting world, something to talk about. Like, we're going to be able to use this and talk about it and move with it. Like, that's a good thing for the whole industry because it gives us a platform to talk about it. So yeah, really, really like it. And again, I hope they go into it. I hope they start attacking Colin the Caterpillar or something. Like that's what I want to see next. I always want to see that.
Dodgy
Like,
tax practices.
yeah. Are you sure you should be 0 rated or whatever? Like 20%? Sure, that's there on there. Yeah, going through from there. So yeah, loving it.
However, HMRC are then back to usual form of a civil servant-led government body. we don't work more than 9 till 5 Monday to Friday, thank you, because they're not going to be open on January the 31st when the deadline is. Helpful, guys.
2 step forwards, 1 step back.
Yep. Now, in hindsight, I should have done that whole Audi HMRC funny post thing when I then declared that, because I put out last week in the Facebook community for Engager, and I put out on this weekend on LinkedIn that Engager is going to be open till 10 o'clock on Friday night this week, and we're open 8 a.m. till midnight for support on Saturday. In hindsight, I've lost the opportunity now, but unlike HMRC, whose rules they are, we're here to support you. But yeah, and that might not have got past our marketing people. That could have caused, oh dear, all sorts of issues there. But it's your deadline, and you're not open to support it.
Isn't their argument always going to be, well, it's taxpayer money, so you should be really grateful that we're not spending it on, opening up on these extra hours. And that's the PR spin, or well, not even a PR spin, but that's a spin they're going to use, isn't it? Like that's what they're going to go down with this. It's all, we're doing you a favor here. Like you should be grateful that we're not wasting your money. I just sit there going,
excuse me, you float the Royal Mail with your waste of money.
Yeah, exactly. Don't even let us get started on those potholes. Like, you know what I mean? But just so frustrating, isn't it? That they, because like you said, it's their deadline, and in the world of football, like when it falls on a Sunday or something else, they either extend or they reduce the deadline to fit in accordance with that, right? Like, okay, it's fallen on a weekend, nothing we can do about that. Even HMRC don't have the power to change when a weekend falls, right? I mean, I'm sure they'd like to. I'm sure they'll find, like, if they had the chance, they'd.
Julius Caesar did, but no one's done it since.
No one's ever wanted to go against him. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
But like, because it fell on a week, do something about like just extend it or reduce it. Like, what's the harm in that? Like, if they gave us till Monday to get that final one, would that cause any problems anywhere else? I can't see a reason or a problem. Or
give us until midnight on Monday. Give us that extra business day.
Yeah.
Because now, whilst they're at home sat doing nothing, there's lots of accountants and bookkeepers that are going to be working on the Saturday.
Yep.
And there's lots of software providers that are offering support on the Saturday. Now, yet the organisation that are causing this have all locked the office up and gone home.
They probably put a party on, like, end of year. Let's have a blowout, everyone. we've done what we can. So
yeah, just baffles me that they're this level of incompetence, like, or lack of thought. But then I also remember it's a government organisation, so I shouldn't be surprised. Right, let's just have a quick look at the comments. So Steph said they did the summer. I turned pretty last year too.
I can't remember.
I do
that
like
one.
the new.
I'll be honest, I can't remember that. As maybe it's because we don't understand the core, like the meme or something that we did just passed us by. Maybe
straight over my head. And Paul says the shift from clients asking about MTD is definitely noticeable as well. The adverts and TV and social media is making headway. Definitely, we've certainly noticed an increase in questions.
Yeah,
which we've quite politely gone, refer back to this email we sent 3 months ago. All right. So yeah, no, there's definitely a lot of talk about MTD coming in now. People are suddenly getting aware of it and stuff. So I know what we're going to be dealing with for the next 3 months at least.
Yeah. The only thing that's confusing me, and I don't know, and I suppose HMRC are not allowed to talk about it, right? Though but it is the software side. You know, we've got Anna's just really said that they're gonna Anna the bank. They've said they've released a new platform. Like Monzo we spoke about. Have got their Sage integration and all this. I feel like because HMRC is not allowed to really push a particular solution, I think that's going to be the hardest bit
We're
for
now
them.
muddying the water.
Yeah, it'd be nice if they could just go, look, here are your options, or they could push a couple, but they're never going to be allowed to do that, right? And I think that's the bit where the clients they're only going to get fed so much of the information. That's the tricky bit, isn't it? It's then how do they get the rest of the information they're going to need? And yes, the software providers are doing a great job in marketing and everything else, but that's the bit that's kind of it's that gap, isn't it? That I feel like there's no easy answer for, but that's going to be the bit that we've just got to we've all got to understand. I think that's going to be the blind side, isn't it?
Yeah, definitely. I think there's going to be some choices made in the next few months about softwares that people are going to regret in the future.
Yeah,
Put it that way.
Yeah, you're right. Yeah.
Now, one tool that you won't regret using, our friends over at Free Agent, they've got news. I'm getting good at these segues. I'm loving these segues.
Yeah, you're definitely better than me at segues. Let's put it out
there. So Free Agent made an announcement last week. Free Agent have done an integration into Fathom reporting. So lots of firms out there that use Fathom have been crying out for this integration, from my understanding. So absolutely fantastic to see Free Agent now integrates with them and pushes all the data into Fathom for all the reporting they need to do. I've not looked at it. I've not played with it. I've never used Fathom, if I'm honest. I've always been on SIF Analytics. But we know the quality that Free Agent require when they build out APIs and stuff. So this can only be a good thing.
Yeah. I mean, it's an access group, isn't it, Fathom? So my hope and pray, and I've never had anyone be able to give me a definitive answer on this, because access group's always been one of those ones where I'm aware of. I like a handful of their products. I have no idea their full suite though. Like there is so much in there. Yeah.
They just made an acquisition last week, which was something to do with mid-tier businesses and stock control or something, I think, off the top of my head.
Yeah,
the access suite is phenomenally large, and it looks at a huge segment of the market. It's not just focused on this part or that part or that part. It's really diversified portfolio of products.
They've got an EPOS solution. They've got all sorts, right? Like they've got pretty much everything you could want. I mean, that's what their dream is, isn't it? That it's like the one-stop shop. You could get everything you need from an access point of view. But I do find that the one thing about access is, the last time I looked at least, they've not fully integrated every part of their web yet. You know, and that's the frustration, isn't it? Because ideally, wouldn't you've like from a Free Agent point of view, wouldn't it be amazing that now they've fed the information to Fathom, that then it can start using the rest of the ecosystem, right? And literally that's your gateway into the access ecosystem. That's what I would hope this means, and that it starts building that relationships and start building those connections from there, because that's superpowering any piece of software, right? Once you're into the access suite, you've pretty much got everything you need, from EPOS to everything else. I keep meaning it's on my like long-term to-do list, but we're still looking for a good payroll provider at the moment. We're still trying to find that right payroll fit for our practice.
Yeah.
And I know Access has a really strong offering on that, and I know there's one there. I've just never had a chance to evaluate it and look into it more. But it's things like that, right? Where I feel like as an industry, we're kind of blindsided by it. We don't have enough people talking about it and bringing that in. I mean, they're there at Accountex and stuff, but it's hard to go and have a conversation because there's so much there, right? Like where do you start the conversation? Is it on their stock management? Is it on their payroll? Is it, where does it go from there? So I like it. And I know friend of the show, Tim, or co-host Tim, he uses the what's it called? The OCR technology one, their version of Dex and
I don't know what it's called.
Like, I think it might be like, sure, someone will tell me. Yeah. Swears by it, thinks it's amazing. Thinks it's brilliant. Like we've got like little snippets into the access group of stuff they can do. But I think, yeah, I would love there to be a access chap or chapette out there so that we can have a dedicated channel on them, so we can kind of have more information. But yeah, it's good news. It's definitely what free agent needed as well. I know they came out with their report packs not long ago. Was it about a year ago they came out with a management report, something like that?
Yeah.
Around that time, wasn't it?
Yeah. So it's a
But
really nice advancement to that.
yeah, it gives choice, right? Like, I'm definitely on the opinion that no matter how good your FMS solutions, we like to call it now, is going to be, like, you're never going to build a report pack that's going to go toe to toe with your Sift analytics or anything like that, right? There's a reason that they've been able to build theirs the way they have, and it's because they can build it without the restrictions that the traditional one comes through. So yeah, I think this is a great thing. I just hope that means that they're starting to have a better relation of access, and they can start have access to all of those other solutions from there. But from what I can tell, from what I've
Yeah, very
heard,
powerful.
yeah, but what I've heard that maybe that's too much too soon. I don't think the access group is quite as connected as they kind of want it to be. But I'm sure that's over time that'll get better.
Yeah, definitely. Now, last week we chatted about AI, which we try and put it off to the end of the conversation, on end of the show, because we know we can go on for a bit. But good news. There's been an announcement from the PCRT body. Now, this is like a combination of all the governing bodies. Is that right? Have I made that right?
It's the best way of describing, isn't it?
Yeah. So the PCRT have put a statement out about AI, and I'm not going to lie, flabbergasted. I'm absolutely blown away. This is completely the opposite direction to the way I thought it was going to go. But basically, they've put a statement out about the use of AI in accounting firms. And it's good news. It's very good news. We've got the green light. We can do it. We can use it. So basically, the overall outcome of the 15-page PDF, because we couldn't just say yes or no. It had to be 15 pages worth of blurb about saying yes or no. Basically gives the accounting profession a green light to use AI, but it's on the condition that there is zero dilution of responsibility. So basically, use AI, do what you need to do with it. Obviously, you've got responsibility about GDPR, security standards, etc. But any judgments, outcomes, etc., that comes from AI that you present to the client, you are ultimately responsible for. And that is no different to when junior accountant or junior bookkeeper does something silly. As a firm owner, we're responsible for the silliness.
Yeah.
So again, it goes back to that analogy of it's a team member, treat it as such. Now, don't bring it a cup of coffee or anything, but treat its output like you would any team member, and review it, critique it, make sure it's right before you use the information. But I kind of expected these governing bodies to go all school-like and go, no, banned. 2026, and there's still headlines about banning mobile phones in schools. Like, we moved on with the calculator quicker than this. That was banned for years, and now we're all using them. So yeah, I really didn't expect it to go this direction or to be so definitive, if I'm honest. What are your thoughts on this?
I mean, the positive is that they've all come together, and it's because my biggest fear of when this sort of news was going to come out is that they were all going to just have their own little guidance and going down their own little routes, and that could have caused such a diversion, right? A division, should I say? You could have had, like, for example, and this isn't what's happened, but you could have had ICAW is against AI, but ACCA is pro AI, and you could have had that whole. We could have had this whole mess and everything else. So the positivity is that they've kind of come together. They know like how crucial and important this is to have like that common talk and common ground, and they've delivered on that. So that is by far for me the most impactful part of it. I think the fact they're saying AI is a tool, not a replacement. We've been saying that for such a long time. I think that's like, yeah, finally they're kind of telling us all that that's exactly how they see it. And like you said about the professionals remain responsible, but the bit that kind of fingered to me was the ethical side of it, and I think that's one of the things where sometimes it's difficult as like being part of the profession to keep reminding yourself about the ethical elements of it, because it's ingrained in us, right? Ethical first, and you have to have this, and I don't like in our accounting practice body, we have to do an ethical exam every single year to make sure that we're on top of it, and blah blah blah. And it's like part of our CPD requirements is that we bring it there. But sometimes it's difficult to kind of take that ethical standard, isn't it? But as every professional body goes, and sometimes I think it's a bit of a buzzword for them, isn't it? It's just to show relevance in some circumstances. It's like, well, the ethical boundaries of so and so and so and so. And it's like, well, yeah, you're saying that because you want to stay relevant and you want to basically keep your profession going, right? Like sometimes it's just a plaster over the actual issue. But they are right about this, and I think that's the bit that I'm happy to have proper guidance on. Like we've got, the ethical element of it's going to be there. That means that no doubt next time I take my ethical exam, there's going to be reference to AI. But at least then we're all singing from the same hymn sheet, right? Like this now, because they've all come together and because they've all like, and it isn't one profession thinks this and one profession thinks the other. Like all the bodies are the same. I think that's a good thing, and I think now that we can all be, and what that should do, and I'm hopeful this going forward, is because they're all singing from the same hymn sheet, like public perception of it should be maintained now, and we should all have this idea that, well, they're all kind of governed by this one voice, and this one voice is telling them to do it X, Y, Z in the profession. So, we should be able to trust that when they use AI, they're going to do it in an ethical manner. And I think that's something that I'm really, really happy about, because it had an opportunity to, and one of the reasons that they've been so nervous about it, isn't it, is because of that public backlash that could have happened. Like, we've already seen those clickbaity titles, haven't we, of accountant XYZ, used AI and it caused this problem and all this, that, and the other, right? And I think having this clarity of it should give us an opportunity to be able to go and like debunk some of that problem, some of that fake news, if you like, and gives us kind of an opportunity to be able to stand by it, and hopefully means that we can maybe even promote the use of it a little bit more and push a little bit more about it, right? Like we've never seen, or at least I've not seen in socials of an AI first accountant, right? Like we're pro AI or anything like that, because we've always been a little bit dubious about what that public perception is going to be. So maybe you're going to see more of that going forward.
Yeah. And I think they had to do this, otherwise they're going to have a huge issue. Like I always feel, and I've said it many a times, a lot of governing bodies are actually holding their members back by the over governance.
Yeah.
And if people under governing bodies suddenly weren't, whether some of them were and others weren't, or whether it was a blanket AI shouldn't be used, well, that will then hold you guys back versus those of us that aren't under a governing body. Like we are supervised by AML, but they have no remit on whether we should or shouldn't be using AI tools.
Yeah.
So this maintains the competition, whereas I always feel a lot of governing bodies are actually quite anti-competitive, and they put their members at a disadvantage by being a member of theirs. So yeah, I mean, I've spoken many a times about my issues with that, but it's nice to see them all come together and go, yeah, all right, we're going to let you do it, and we're going to set the boundaries, which are you are still ultimately responsible for the outcome of the information, etc. And rightly so. So yeah. Like the bit where they talk about ethics in there, I think the problem is ethics covers such a wide range of things. Like, who is it deemed ethical to use AI when it uses so much natural resource, etc.? Potentially not. Like, but like, yeah, ethics is a bit of a big word that covers all means of things. It's like AI in marketing. It's like,
100%.
is it AI really, or is it a marketing spin that you're trying to put on a new feature that you think you can crowbar into the AI terminology?
Yeah.
But yeah, no, it's nice to see them all come together, as you say, and to allow that to prevent anyone from having a competitive edge because everyone's got the same playing field now.
Yeah, yeah. And hopefully it doesn't like that point about the ethics. The problem where you have is you dilute the meaning of it, right? Because it becomes slapped on everything. And it's same with AI at the moment, isn't it? We've seen that so much, like dilutes the meaning of it. Like part of the acquisition, we're looking at, oh, do we need to upgrade these laptops that people are on? And obviously the first question is, do we need to have an AI chip inside it that does the, you know what I mean? Like, and it's diluting the actual conversation topic, which should be actually what's the right tool for the right job, not should we be having this AI tool in there just for the sake of having it. And I feel like at least now with the clarity there, we can go, right, well, this is what the guidance is and this is what we can all abide by. Crack on with it, like you said. So I think that's got to be the positive bit of it. I wonder if any of the softwares will kind of jump on this bandwagon as well, because surely this means that they should be more open now to talk about their actual capabilities and not just, oh, we have AI, so it's here, but now actually the use cases, right? Because I think some of them were a little bit tepid about that because there wasn't kind of like the green light, if you like, to talk about it. Do you know what I mean?
Yeah. So like QuickBooks Zero, Free Agent, Sage, etc., can now go whenever someone goes, oh, I don't know about AI. So actually, your governing body now endorses it. Your governing body now allows it, and these are the things you need to be aware of.
Yeah.
Like, that's a good
These
thing.
are the use cases, right?
Yeah.
Because they can talk about those use cases now without the fear of, well, is that not, we've not
Is
had a
this
black
in
and white
line
yes
with the
or no.
rules?
Yeah, exactly. And I think that's been a very valid criticism of AI in our industry so far. And I'll always remember being criticized on stage about it, right? Like, you can talk about that you're an active user of AI and you've been, you can preach about it as much as you want, but give me a practical use case. And sometimes you have to kind of sit back and go, well, I've been using it for this, this, and this, and this, but I'm not 100% sure I'm supposed to on this and this. So I'm not going to talk about that bit. Do you know what I mean? Like, we've been kind of silenced a little bit, right? And now, as long as we're within these guidance, we can shout about it, talk about it, teach and promote it as much as we want to, because we've now got clarity that that's right and that's wrong.
I would put out there, just because it'd be very out the ordinary if I'm all endorsing of governing bodies here, but how many years has it taken to get to this stance on this point? Like ChatGPT, OpenAI, Google, Gemini and stuff, it's been out there for 3 or 4 years now, and now we finally get guidance.
I'd argue this is 3-4 times quicker than I thought it was going to be. So, progress.
The horse is still out the stable and halfway down the bloody country.
But at least it's not got a jetpack on, which is normally the case at this point.
Well, yeah. It's on its 3rd lap by this point. Yeah. Okay, fair enough. I'll give him that. It's quicker than normal, but with technology, these governing bodies need to be getting faster and more responsive and concluding these matters a lot more effectively. Otherwise, the technology will continue to outpace them dramatically.
Yeah, definitely.
I wonder if you could build a chatbot governing body. Just replace them all with a chatbot AI tool.
Here it is. What would you call it? It's got to have the word AI in it, right?
Competence AI.
ICAI.
But yeah, cool. Right. Well, that brings us up to 9:30. That ties us up nicely to the end of the show. Thank you for everybody that has joined me and Aaron this week on this week's episode. Aaron, what have you got going on this week?
Up to the practice tomorrow, and then really just cracking on with it and just supporting the team where we can for the last bit, right? So nice. I'm thankful that I'm not off to London or anything like that and everything else, but I know you are, right? So you off to Reading tomorrow?
Yeah, off to Reading for a couple of days, just working with various people in my firm and getting some bits sorted. whilst also keeping on top of everything engaging. We've got some webinars and stuff coming up. So yeah, just spinning many plates all at the same time, just from a different location in the UK.
Is that your last trip for a while, or have you got more to come?
No.
That is it, just
I think I've got
fully
two
off.
more. I've got 2 trips in February, and then March just goes mental with all sorts of trips and events. Like Fab is in March and
Yeah,
stuff.
Fab's in March, isn't it? Yeah, that's going to be here before we know it. Crikey.
Oh yes, definitely will. But thank you very much to everyone that joined us. We will see you here, same place, same time next week. Goodbye.
Cheers, everyone. Bye.